Hello everyone, whether you're a YouTuber, a designer, or just starting out, welcome to this exciting journey of creating eye-catching thumbnails together. First things first, choose a portrait that truly captures attention. It could be your own photo, a bold expression, or something that speaks to your audience. Let's open it in Photoshop. Now comes the fun part, removing the background. Start by selecting the Quick Selection tool from the toolbar. Next, click on Select Subject at the top. But before you click, make sure the cloud option is checked for sharper, more accurate results. Now, let's move on to placing our portrait in the thumbnail. Press Ctrl or Command C to copy your selected portrait. Next, open a new document by pressing Ctrl or Command N. We're using the dimensions 1920 by 1080 pixels. Once your new document is ready, Ctrl or Command V to paste the portrait. Press Ctrl or Command T to scale it down and position it neatly on the left side of the canvas. Here's a tip. When transforming objects in Photoshop using Ctrl+T or Command T on Mac, it's essential to scale proportionally to keep your designs looking polished and professional. Photoshop now automatically scales proportionally by default, so you no longer need to hold the Shift key. But if you're someone who's used to the old way, holding Shift to scale proportionally, it might feel a bit frustrating when things don't work as expected. Don't worry, you can bring back the classic behavior. Press Ctrl-K or Command-K on Mac to open the Preferences window. Go to the General tab. Check the box for Use Legacy-Free Transform. Now, it's time to set the mood with a background. Open your background image. Press Ctrl or Command-A to select the entire image. Then press Ctrl or Command C to copy it. Switch back to your thumbnail document, click on the background layer, and press Ctrl or Command V to paste the background in. To make it look perfect, press Ctrl or Command T again to scale and adjust the background to your liking. Let's dim the background for a more professional and focused look. Here's how. Let's first make it a smart object. This will allow us to adjust effects later if needed. Right-click on the background layer in the Layers panel and select Convert to Smart Object. Now click on the Adjustment Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel and selecting Levels. In the Properties panel, locate the Output Levels slider at the bottom. Adjust the Highlight Output level by dragging the right slider to 50. This will give the background a softer, more muted effect, ensuring your subject stands out beautifully. Next, let's add a vibrant glow effect to make the subject stand out even more. Add a new layer by clicking the New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. Set your foreground color to a bright orange, something warm and eye-catching. Select the Brush tool from the toolbar. In the options at the top, adjust the brush size to your preference, large enough to create a subtle glow, and set the hardness to 0 for a soft edge. On the new blank layer, click 2 or 3 times behind the subject. This will create a warm, glowing effect that draws attention to the focal point. To further enhance the focus on the subject, let's add a subtle white highlight behind them. Create a new layer by clicking the New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. Set your foreground color to white. Select the Brush tool again, but this time, reduce the brush size to something smaller and manageable. On this new layer, carefully click behind the subject to create a soft white highlight. Place it strategically to ensure it adds depth and naturally directs the viewer's attention to the subject. Now, let's make the portrait stand out even more with a glowing effect. Select the portrait layer in the Layers panel. Right-click on the layer and choose Convert to Smart Object. With the portrait layer selected, go to the bottom of the Layers panel and click on the FX icon. From the menu, choose Inner Glow. Set the color to a lighter orange for a warm and cohesive glow. Change the blend mode from screen to vivid light for a more vibrant effect. Now let's add an orange outline around the portrait. Create a new layer by clicking the New Layer icon, hold down Ctrl or Command, and click on the portrait layer thumbnail in the Layers panel. This will create an outer selection around the portrait. Select any selection tool and right-click inside the selection. Choose Stroke from the context menu. In the stroke settings, set the color to orange. Set the width to 10 pixels. Change the location to inside. Now change the blending mode of the layer to vivid light and opacity to 70%. Temporarily hide the inner glow effect. Use the eraser tool to carefully remove the stroke from areas you don't want, like the face or other parts of the subject. Keep it only on the hair and shirt for a natural effect. Next, select the smudge tool from the toolbar. Set the strength to 50% and adjust the brush size to fit the area you're working on. Now click and drag along the stroke edges, especially around the hair and shirt. This will give the stroke a natural glowing effect as it blends softly into the portrait. Use short controlled drags for precision. Focus on areas where the glow would naturally diffuse. Now let's add some text to make the design more engaging. Grab the type tool and type your text on the canvas. Choose a bold, readable font and set the color to a dark yellow for a vibrant and striking look. Once you've got your text in place, it's time to make it pop with some layer styles. First, enable bevel and emboss to give the text a 3D look. Adjust the depth for a strong effect and tweak the size to match the scale of your text. For the highlights, switch the mode to vivid light and use a bright yellow color to add a glowing touch. Next, add a stroke effect with a dark gray color to outline the text and set the size to frame it perfectly. Finally, enable the satin style to introduce some texture and subtle detailing to the text. Use an orange color and adjust the distance and size settings to create a smooth, stylish effect. Experiment with the satin position to find the perfect balance that complements the overall text style. To finalize the text and make it even more eye-catching, start by duplicating the text layer. Update the text to match your video title and change the color to something that stands out. Here, we're using white for a clean and elegant look. Adjust the satin color to complement your text. Repeat this process for any additional text layers if you have more titles or subtitles to include. Now let's add some shine to give the text a graceful, polished look. To do this, introduce a glare effect into your canvas. Open a glare image, copy it, and paste it into your document. Place it just above the text layer you want to enhance. Use Ctrl or Command+T to transform and rescale the glare so it fits snugly at the bottom of the main text. Here, you can play with adjust the layer's blending mode to something like screen or overlay for a seamless shine effect. It completely depends to your background. To further enhance your design, let's incorporate a logo into the composition. Start by importing your logo image. Here, I'm using the Photoshop logo as an example. Drag and drop it into your canvas or use File Place Embedded to insert it. Once the logo is added, press Ctrl or Command-T to scale and position it as needed. Ensure it fits well with the overall layout. Now, to add a touch of elegance, let's apply a glare effect to the logo. Open a glare image, copy it, and paste it into your document. Place the glare layer above the logo in the Layers panel. Use Ctrl or Command+T to transform and resize the glare so it aligns perfectly with the logo. Now, let's incorporate some particles to enhance the visual appeal. Open a particle image and press Ctrl or Command-A to select the entire image. Copy it, then paste it below the portrait layer in your design. Adjust the size as needed, using Ctrl or Command-T to scale the particles. Finally, change the blending mode from normal to lighter color to seamlessly integrate the particles into your design. To finalize and enhance your design, we'll merge all visible layers into a single layer and apply some finishing touches using the Camera Raw filter. First, press Ctrl-Shift-Alt-E for Windows or Command-Shift-Option-E for Mac to flatten all visible layers into one. This new layer will appear above the currently selected layer. Next, right-click on this layer and select Convert to Smart Object. This step ensures that any adjustments made are non-destructive and can be modified later if needed. Open the Camera Raw filter by going to Filter, Camera Raw filter. In the Adjustment panel, begin by tweaking the light settings. Light is key in setting the tone of your design, so play around with these settings to find the right balance that enhances your image without overdoing it. To enhance the colors, increase the vibrance to make them richer and more vibrant without oversaturating. You can also adjust the texture slider to bring out finer details, adding a crisp and professional finish. For a polished look, add a touch of noise to the overall design. This gives it a subtle, cinematic texture that feels cohesive and complete. Remember, these adjustments depend entirely on your image, so take your time to play with the settings until everything feels just right. Once you're happy with the result, click OK to apply the changes and enjoy your enhanced final design. And that's it! Your eye-catching thumbnail design is complete with vibrant colors, perfect lighting, and sleek effects. Now you have a professional-looking thumbnail to help your content stand out. I hope you like this video. Be sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell so you'll always be in the loop for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay with us and never stop creating.